It's time for a double dose of dark matter. We have season 2, episode 11, Wish I'd Spaced You When I Had the Chance, and season 2, episode 12, Sometimes in Life You Don't Get to Choose. That's right, long titles, long episodes. We have so much to talk about. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome. It is time for the Dark Matter After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. You can tweet at me at Yael Tygiel, YaelTygiel. Let me introduce my dancing co-host, Andrew Mena.
Hey guys, I'm Andrew Mena. Find me on Twitter at Andrew Mena and Instagram at @TheAndrewMena, and I will talk to you, I promise.
And Tauri Miller.
Hey guys, I'm Tauri Miller. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TauriJ, TauriJay. I'm also in the chat, baby. Talk to me.
All right, calm down.
I am the voice of the fans.
Girl.
We have two episodes, season 2, episode 11 and 12. We're going to start with Wish I'd Spaced You When I Had the Chance, the 3 and 5 episode. I said it on Twitter and I will say it again.
Say it here.
If I were ever taken, I would want 3 to be the one who saves me. And when I say saves me, I mean the one who took me. Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yep, that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Cool. Good story.
Thanks. What did you guys think of the first episode? Andrew.
I have a lot of thoughts about it. I think there's some really great moments. I mean, okay, we're just going to talk about just everything about it.
We have 2 episodes, so we got to cram it all in. So, get the thoughts out.
Totally. So we're going to talk about this more in the second episode because they do this twice. But there's a theme in these 2 episodes of people trying to Harry and the Hendersons each other. And if you haven't seen the movie Harry and the Hendersons, it's a movie about John Lithgow and his family finding Bigfoot and ultimately deciding that Bigfoot is better off in the wild, so he has to be mean to Bigfoot, but he really loves Bigfoot.
Oh, that.
And so they do that twice. And the first time she's like, honey, I've seen Harry and the Hendersons. Nice try. And the second time, Nix is like, I've never seen that movie. It doesn't exist on my planet. So I just wanted to point that out.
That's a great thing to point out, because in my notes, I remember I wrote 3's trying to be an asshole, because that's what 3 is. And I remember watching it and going, she better not fall for this. What kind of stupid person falls for this? And she's crying, and she's crying because I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Not being dumb.
Yeah.
Not being dumb.
Exactly. I love that she's like, I can't even walk away with you thinking that I don't know this, you idiot.
Yeah. Tari, what'd you think?
I thought there were a lot of touching moments. Just really quick, Mr. Goku Jr. Points out what I was thinking, that White Fang is the renowned instance of people trying to be mean to make someone run away.
About Bigfoot?
It's about a sweet dog. Dog that needs to run in the wild. You White Fang someone. You do it to ladies. You do it to dogs. You do it to men. All right.
You do it to little girls.
You do it to
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
No.
Wait.
Whoa. You
Girl.
never.
Girl.
Wait, am I misunderstanding what white fanging is?
Yes.
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 I
You completely misunderstood.
thought it was when you're a jerk to someone to make them go away.
Oh,
It is.
yes.
Is that not?
Yes. I think your phrasing was the main thing.
My
We
apologies.
never know with you.
You guys are jerks.
Harry and the Hendersonsing.
Okay.
I'm calling it because it's longer and funnier.
Okay.
But
Yes, you're right. You're right. White Fang is also an excellent example.
yeah.
You guys scared me that I really misunderstood what you were saying, but I understood it correctly. You misunderstood me.
That's true.
Yeah.
But to kind of back it up a little bit, I thought I want to take a little bit to talk about the brothers.
Yeah.
And they're
The Danker brothers.
What
Yeah.
are they?
The
Who are
Danker brothers.
The
Danker.
Dinker.
Yeah, those the
Dagger
Danker brothers.
they? Everyone said their name differently.
Yeah. They so
The
dank.
Dankers, they
Yeah.
kept calling them. And I kept thinking the Cankers from Ed, Ed, and Eddie. And it's kind of the same thing. Like this weird trailer trashy family out in the woods that just kind of creeps on people.
They were creepy, and 5, I love when she stabbed one in the ear and then kicked him in the nuts.
Oh, yeah.
With a
Friggin' spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
no, spoons are great weapons. The
fa-
doctor knows that.
To be fair, though, I feel like she knew better. She played that hand real early and stabbed the first guy. It's like, come on. You had him down before you stabbed him. You could have stabbed a second guy. So you really didn't maximize your spoon potential.
No, she stabbed the first guy, yeah. And then the other guy grabs her and she's out. She's done.
Yeah, exactly. She played that hand too quick.
Yeah, girl, you don't know how to get out of that? Come on.
Nah, she hadn't got to grappling yet.
No.
You know, it was just hand-to-hand combat.
Not enough lessons with 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you want to talk about these brothers?
Yeah, I thought that it was interesting that we had our... I guess I don't expect shows to have human trafficking storylines, but you know,
Yes.
this was
They
our
do.
first incident of it, and I thought it was really interesting, and that like they were real sadistic about it.
Yeah.
Like they took a lot of pleasure in selling little girls off. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing
Yeah,
that
it
happens.
seemed really gross and personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were finally going to have the Dark Matter SVU crossover I wanted,
Oh, wow.
where we were going to follow her in her life of being trafficked.
She was going to get like a space rape kit or something?
Yes.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yes. Space Marishka was going to show up.
Have rape kits improved in space? I hope so.
Yes.
In my mind,
Yeah.
when you mentioned that, since they've been, 300 years dead, I'd like to imagine that all of their heads are just like floating on little
Futurama style.
Yeah.
on little spider legs. There's been a crime. Yeah, I'm right here with you, Munch.
Yeah, that was a great ice too. That was a very good Detective Finn
Thank
Tituola.
you.
Fantastic.
Beautiful. I really like the way that that 3 takes down the Danker brothers.
Yeah.
They're real dank, and
It's
the way
real.
the bear trap and the shotgun, and then he beats the third, and then that duel, kind of with the last one.
Yeah.
Especially when Kirkin comes in and pulls straight out of
Sherlock Holmes?
No.
Oh, no? What were you going to say?
Oh, straight out of Boondock Saints.
Okay.
He pulls a Willem Dafoe and reenacts the entire thing.
That's true.
All he was missing was shouting, "There was a firefight!" That's all he was missing.
I'm sure some of our sweet, sweet fans could edit that together.
No.
Oh, I hope so.
I'm sure that
It'd
they
be
could.
so good.
I was really feeling like Kirkin was very, I liked him a lot in this episode. I was feeling him. I mean, I know you don't really like him, but
No, I love him.
Okay,
I
good.
don't like what's happening with his face.
with his facial hair, I thought he
Yes.
actually looked pretty great.
No, sir, Chris Holden Reed looks great with facial hair.
It's true, he does. I'm not arguing that. but
I'd
I
like
thought
to
he looked
imagine.
good.
I'd like to imagine that his clone couldn't handle the facial hair. It's like how you are naturally created, and so it's like how one became his previous body. So his clones are all clean shaven.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I actually thought
Beards can
about.
travel through a transit
Well,
tube.
so I thought about it, and it was like when they weren't sure that they should send 2 in because they didn't know it would come out. So I thought maybe the facial hair is not human, like it's a something. It's biotech.
Interesting.
Yeah.
His facial hair is a cool shield that activates when anyone tries to punch him in the jaw now. I like that.
I mean, if Truffaut can have the eyes,
mean, yeah.
why can't he have a beard?
And I mean,
true.
Dr. Will Wheaton already has his light
Shield,
shield.
yeah.
Why can't it be in a beard? It could.
I love it.
Yep.
Because I refuse to believe
Beard
that Chris
shield.
Holden Reed.
Yeah. I'm so into that.
Not a fan of this clean shaven.
Well, he couldn't bring his beard shield, and now we know.
I have a question from Mr. Goku Jr.
Sure.
Sure.
He wanted to know if any of you guys were thinking that the Danker brothers were potentially working for AFA.
Oh, for Aoife?
AFA.
Alicia Renault?
Renault. She's still alive, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
Danks. Were the Danks working for? I don't think so. I feel like they were just. I think the idea behind seeing them and their sadism and how excited they were to sell off body parts of 5 was to show us what's happening in these poverty-stricken colonies. I mean, I know they were on a station of some sort, but like it looked like a boondocksy town. I don't know what that means,
Rural.
but I said it. There you go. So yeah, I feel like they really needed money. There's 5 of these brothers who look nothing alike, so I'm gonna believe they all have different parents. But whatevs.
Hey, stop shaming them. Stop
not
parent shaming them.
I'm not shaming. I'm just saying they didn't look alike. I'm casting shaming, if anything.
Ken from Chicago posits that the Danker brothers were independent scumbags, not actual brothers.
I see what you're saying. The way that, like,
Fine.
old Westy brothers were called themselves brothers. Like,
Yeah.
Kind of the way
we're the
that-
Collins brothers.
The way that
And that's
3
red.
has his family,
Yeah.
his crime family.
Right.
Fine. How come every time I make a comment or a complaint about a family, people go, "It's a crime family, Yael, not a real family." My bad, guys.
Why
I
do
don't
you-
know anything.
Why don't you just understand crime families?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just do it.
So let's talk about the droid bot, the
The eye in the
what
sky.
am I? Yeah, the eye in the sky. What am I thinking of? Oh, I know exactly what it reminds me of. The things from Doctor Who. Oh, somebody's gonna come up with a name for it. When the Master returns and he has the little talking.
Oh, the people from the end of the universe?
Yeah, the people from Utopia that are put into
yeah.
the bots. That is what it reminded me of.
I could see that.
Okay, chat. Remind me what those guys were called. Thanks.
Yeah.
So 3 reveals to Kirkin. He says that Traugot, Traugot hired him and Wexler's team, and that the Raza was not involved in the whole thing. He's like risking himself in case things go south.
Yeah, he implicates himself and the rest of the bad guys the rest of the, like, treacherous crew, like, former Raza crew and, like, affiliates that we've seen so far. And basically it's like, yeah, no one had anything to do with it. And
They didn't want to
keep
do
those
it.
memories. Yeah.
Such a smooth and smart move. Do you think it will come to bite him in the ass this season or next?
I don't think it...
Yeah.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Well, no, you...
Somebody has to speak, guys.
Okay.
I don't think it will ever come back. Because you've destroyed the... I would imagine that those individual, like, interrogation bots, like, are self-storage. So he would have had to take it back or transfer it or upload it. So I don't think it'll ever really, like, mean anything.
But Kirkin now knows, air quotes on that knows.
Yeah. But like, as long as 3 is a part of the crew, then they're all basically implicated in it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean that it is
All right.
correct.
Andrew?
I think that as this goes on, because he basically tries to make this, he's like, war's coming, 3, I know you understand the concept of this, and I'm trying to make a deal with you, basically. And he's trying to appeal to him, so at some level he thinks that 3 is appealable. You know what I mean? He's not like, you are a gross villain, you're a man who has wants, and I think I can appeal to those things.
And I think
So-
he's right.
I mean...
That 3 has wants that can be appealed to.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
Girl, calm down.
I'm sorry, I need
Girl,
to calm down.
girl.
Go on.
All right. So I feel like Kirkin is in this place of, like, the best of his empire, the best of life, the best of humanity. He's trying to, like, really serve people, you know, rather than this, you know, galactic authority, which seems like this crazy fascist government. It was just like, yeah, no, we're gonna do whatever we want because we want to do it, and that's how we are. We have mining colonies, and we, like, destroy them because whatever, screw those kids. I mean, people. I mean, not kids, infants. I mean, not infants. So they're just horrible, and I just feel like Kirkin is not them. So it's this bridging of those worlds, and I think that, you know, I think it's the beginnings of Kirkin, like, more questioning his status in this world, and I think 3 maybe is going to be this catalyst. I think he is going to get captured at some point by Kirkin, who is going to try to take him in, and they're going to have a great moment where Kirkin basically is like, all right, fine, I'm going to release you, but I'm watching you, and he's like, I know, you know, and it's just going to be like, oh,
Do you think
kiss already.
that's going to happen next season?
Maybe that's gonna be the end of this season, is like he's gonna get captured. I feel like we are probably gonna end on a really big, like, madness, the team split up in some fashion.
Interesting.
That's how I feel.
Tari, you look like you have something you'd like to say.
I mean,
Or somebody has something to say.
I mean, Ivan Soto is positing or is asking.
What does Ivan Soto think?
Ivan Soto wants to know if we think that Kirkin can be turned to the good guy's side, which I think he means
The Raza.
The Raza.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so. I think Kierkegaard is going to suffer the same thing that Six did when he was GA, which is realizing that GA is not the good guys. So I feel like that's where we're going to head, and it's going to be great.
I agree.
That's what I feel like. Luckily, the Raza saves 3, and we move on. So I want to talk about this really great little scene with Six and the android, where she's noticed that he's relaxed and that he's like really settling back into
Calls
the
him
team.
fat.
She absolutely calls him fat.
That was great.
That was really funny.
I'd like to think that she was basically roasting him. She was just like, I know that everyone's starting to forgive you, but I just want to let you know that you're a fat asshole.
And what's the deal with the way you walk around in your underpants?
I really want to see that. That I want to see. I'd like to believe that that was absolutely ad-libbed. I want to believe that. I know it wasn't, but I want to believe that she was like, also, you've increased your appetite. Did you just call me fat? Yes. We also find out that she frequently analyzes the team and like is checking on them, which I feel like is a huge yes.
Oh, I just have to say this because I watch with captions, so I always watch and read. And they said that she does very frequent scanalysis on them.
Yeah.
Anyone else skin crawling there? You know, scanalysis. That's a horrible mix up of words. That's like guesstimate. Anyway, it drove me crazy. If it didn't drive you crazy,
I
then I'll
love
stop talking about
guesstimate.
it. Oh my god. That's not a word.
It is.
You didn't like the skinalysis?
I did not think the scanalysis. I was like, come on, just call it an analysis. We're not
No,
dumb.
it's
you
a
don't need to
scanalysis.
Are you not a
Scanalysis.
fan of how we
Call it a
do
scan.
scanalysis of the show?
Why are you
We scanalyze the show.
Yeah.
Why are you taking so long to say what either of those words say? It is not great. You're not breaking ground by combining them.
All right,
guys
let's
are madness.
continue.
Scanalysis.
Yeah,
You're the worst.
scandalizing. All right. So then we have this great moment where Six is like, "I want to help. I want to be a clone and help them," and she threatens him.
Yeah.
It is good to know. That's creepy.
It was super creepy.
Yeah.
She
It
had
was
some
great.
great moments in both these episodes.
Can we talk a little bit about how they super underutilize those pods in both of these episodes? They have these pods where they can clone themselves,
the
so they
clone pods?
basically get like this free pass on death,
Yeah.
more or less, and they don't use it. And I was totally expecting that to come. Like, we'll talk about it more in this next episode, but I was expecting some of their like play to be, we have the ability to clone ourselves, and we're not gonna just throw ourselves into stupid, dangerous situations anymore.
So I think the problem is, so to use the pods, they need to have pods to wake up in, right? And at the other location.
Right.
I think that these pods specifically that the GA uses were GA pods, as opposed to the what's it called?
I mean, but
Rapid
they-
transit,
Yeah.
transit,
Yep.
something.
Transit transfer.
Thank
Yes,
you.
there
Transfer
it is,
transit,
there
one
it
of those
is.
two.
Yeah.
But
Second one.
also,
Yes.
Rio or 4
Fio.
deactivated them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Which ones?
All of
The
them.
ones in
The like the GA ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also,
Anyway, yeah.
Yep.
this is a side note, but I like that Ken from Chicago called Andrew Scandrew.
Ken
Ken wins. Oh, Scandrew, that's a thing now.
thanks.
Yeah, this was a really fun episode. The first episode was really, really fun. I loved every moment. I liked seeing 3 and 5 together. I like that. I've always said that 5 and 6 were like a brother-sister thing. And the more I think about it, the more I think that 3 and 5 are brother-sister. And 5 and 6 are 5 and her friend who's like, she's a freshman, he's a senior.
Yeah.
Right.
I see that.
But 3 is very much her big brother who's picking on her and whatever, but was definitely going to always save her. When he comes in to save her and she's passed out and he shoots, shoots both of them and then beats the other one. And then she's like, I was scared. And he's like, so was I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Oh, it made me miss my brothers so much. That's what happened.
I know, me too. Callous murder always makes me miss my brother.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Any final thoughts on the first episode? Because we still have so much more to talk about.
Yeah, I really wanted to point out that there's a moment where Six proposes that they be the government. Where they're talking on the ship, And he's just like, you know what? We should just be the government, basically.
That was in the second episode.
No, it was in the first one. It was in 11.
Oh, I apologize. You're right. It is at the bottom of my notes and I missed it. Yeah,
No
we absolutely
worries.
need to talk about that before we move on.
That's madness to me. He's just like, no,
yes.
yeah, we'll just be the new government. We'll be basically like the president and the like dictators, kind of, right?
Well,
No.
sort of.
Yeah, what he said was great. Go on.
I mean, it made me question if there's actually a current running government in throughout the galaxy. Like, we have enforcement, and we have the companies,
Corporations.
but like they seem to be the government. So it's like I don't know if there's an actual term. It's kind of like how an oligarchy works, in that the church rules over all the governance, except instead of a church, it's the companies.
Yes.
And so I like that he's basically suggesting that they take the power that they have in the blink drive and use it as a force of good, not necessarily becoming the overlords of the galaxies, but more using that to sway things in a more positive direction.
Yeah, so what I wrote was that he wants to give the Raza a purpose, right? And she points out that he's asking if they want to go from outlaws to peacekeepers and become intergalactic cops. So I think it's, instead of them becoming the overlords, it's that they're just going to, once this huge corporate war happens, because it is coming and the colonies are uprising and we see what's coming, that once the dust settles, they will come in and start being the enforcement instead of galactic authority.
Right.
And that because they know, they can see what's right and what's wrong, which is such a dangerous power to give someone. But they are like, no, we're going to take this power because we have it and we can.
Right.
And I want to see that show so bad because it cannot end well.
Just the campaign of the Raza.
They don't even need a campaign. Them just going and like trampling on people and being like, no, we know this is what's right, and killing bad people, because
Right.
that's going to end up with them back where we started, where they are the villains.
Yeah.
Raza season 3, The Punisher.
Right. Well, I find
Yes.
it interesting because we often cite we often cite anime when we're reviewing this show.
Sorry, we often?
Yes, we often
cite
cite
anime.
Digimon.
And yes, that
Zoids.
that is an anime.
Bleach.
But that's a good one. I actually
Captain
feel
Cowboy
like,
Bebop.
all right, you've had enough.
Girl.
I named 3. That's more than sport
Captain
team.
Bebop.
Cowboy.
Okay.
I got it. I
okay.
figured it out.
Girl.
So I find that there's a very interesting parallel between what Six is suggesting and the anime known as Rurouni Kenshin.
Is it just known as it, or is that what it's called?
Well, actually, so there's the version that's Samurai X, but then there's
that's
also
true.
Rurouni Kenshin.
That's true.
But in terms of his storyline is that he was a guy who wanted to make a difference in the world. He wanted to help weaker people. He had this amazing power that he had learned in the form of his swordsmanship. Mm-hmm. And then he went out and used it to do what he thought was good, but in turn he became like basically a government pawn. Mm-hmm. And then after, Batosa the Manslayer. And then after that, after he realized that he wasn't actually doing good, like what you suggested the Raza would be doing, he became this wandering samurai looking for a purpose. And then he still had all this power in the form of his swordsmanship, but he was actually figuring out what it meant to be good, which is the theme of this show, and what I think their trajectory would be if they became these like peacemakers.
I like it.
Yeah.
Before we move to the next episode, I need to make a moment to note. We're going to skip discussing the fact that 4 wakes up with Nyx next to him. Whatever.
I was just gonna say that.
Nope.
Apparently every night. It's apparently every night, you guys.
Yep.
Gross.
Yeah, it's not even always about sex. It's just about just chilling and really having someone to love. Someone that you really connect with, who just gets you.
I know, deep emotional relationship.
Deep connection.
Yeah. There's no nixing that relationship.
No.
Stop.
Oh, man.
Anyway, he then
Got my
asked
fix.
the android.
Let me say that.
He's then asked the android, to assist him in regaining his memories.
Bom, bom, bom.
Ooh.
Yes.
Before we move on from Wish I'd Spaced You When I Had the Chance to Sometimes in Life You Don't Get to Choose, I want to take a moment and thank you, the fans. Thank you guys so much for joining us all season long. We really appreciate it. We appreciate everyone who is live in the chat. Tauri is taking note of things you are saying, and you guys are on top of it, really making better comments than I am for sure. And we ask you to do a very simple thing. Go to iTunes and subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode. But also rate and review. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. And if you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. Because the other stars, they do not work. Yeah, they don't. And bang on your keyboard, write us some emojis, and we will read them live on the air right here.
It's true.
Tauri, do we have some reviews?
Unfortunately, we do not have any new reviews.
What?
I mean, all the ones that we've gotten have been really great. I'd like to thank you guys for all the 5 stars and all the wonderful comments, but you didn't do your homework last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, double episode, no reviews? Come on. All right, let's move on to the episode, because good thing we don't have reviews. We have so much more to talk about, and we're running out of time.
That's true. Thank you, guys. That was good forethought.
Thanks. All right, so episode 12, which Tauri decided should have been called Surrender or Die.
Yes, it would have been a great title.
Repeated several times throughout the episode. Absolutely. Agree.
Okay, so we meet General Drago, and then...
What is happening right now?
I don't know.
We eat some popcorn.
I don't know what just happened. My mouth got tired. Go.
I'll take this over. Guys, I'm the host now. Man, we entered into a really interesting scene. We have all of the Zyron soldiers, and they're like, we're under attack! And then Rio's like, I just showed you the power of our blink drive. Join me or die. Surrender or die.
Keep going.
And then they join him, and he cuts off a guy's head. Straight up.
Yeah. So we have this real crazy political episode. We have so he gets the army, and then Rio is like, I am done sitting back. I have my memories. I know who to trust, and I know what I want to do. So he ambushes Hiro, and then that is ambushed. And then we find out that the stepmother's evil. Guys.
We find out.
Yeah.
Shock. Oh
Evil stepmother. It's not like all fairy tales taught us that.
She is just the worst.
She is the worst.
Her face where she's like,
What is the face you're making?
She just kind of like teases but doesn't say anything. Where she's just like, in the court scene during the whole time. She's just
okay, let's talk about. I want to talk about the trial.
Drive me crazy. Oh, you mean the non-trial where they just like, people told us you were drunk, so you're pretty much gonna die. What?
There was the line.
Justice
what was
process.
the drunk line? It was, you were drunk and you killed him.
Belligerent.
Yeah, drunk and belligerent. And he was like, I was angry. I expected him to say, I was angry and belligerent. That's what I thought he was going to say.
Correct the one thing in that sentence. Yes.
That's what it was. So this trial that we have where that one guy just decides to, I'm going to narrate what happened. That's their trial?
Who is that one white guy?
Thank you.
Who is the one white guy that weaseled his way into power on this planet of seemingly all Asian people?
Yep.
Who is this guy?
No, it's a diverse community
I'm not
Zyron.
saying that. I'm saying,
Is
who
it?
is he?
There are, like, if you look at all of the, like, extras and the soldiers, it's a pretty, like, diverse
No, you're right,
group.
especially among their military. But I just want to know who this guy was. Like, why? Was he a military guy that retired? Like, why was he there? Like, was he the new husband of the stepmom? Like, what was the relation? Because he seemed like he was in her pocket. Sure, we get that. But who is this guy? Is
He's
this just, like,
her
her
advisor.
Right, but, like, who?
Okay.
I don't know. I was annoyed.
He's her Jafar.
Right, but we didn't
He's
get
her
told
Jafar.
that.
Okay, so the way the trial goes, Rio does this amazing fight when he takes the knife and he does the flip and he kicks the butts. I loved it. I loved it so much. That was such a badass fight. I think I have like 17 exclamation points with badass. It was great. But then Misaki reveals that she loved him.
Yeah, it was
you idiot.
Yeah, he's dreamy. Obviously.
He is. And then we get to the part where they decide exile, imprisonment, or death. and they all vote death?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She loves him.
Yeah, like, what is that?
I love you, death.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you guys think that Misaki was already turned to his side? Like, she voted death, but, like, the way that it ends, she is all for him.
Yeah, I don't trust her at all. Like, not even a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
you are too quick to, you are too down for whatever everyone else is doing.
Yeah, I feel like I thought about that, and I think that she's too much of a follower. I think that she is I do love you, and I want to follow you, but currently you're not the one that's making the decisions, and I follow the person who's making the decisions.
Right.
Because really, when it comes down to it, she's going to save herself. Anyway, so then we get the great infiltration of the Raza, but the Seers catch them. What? Thoughts? What is that face? You saw it coming.
I wrote the guessers. Duh. Also,
I feel
they
like
have no style.
I feel like they guesstimate a lot.
They guesstimate all the time.
Yeah.
And it's the worst. And let me just reiterate that they have no style. That they literally have the power to know whatever they want, but they like just wear weird monk robes. Like they have no style. Like, but they're not cool monks. They don't. I mean, and they could. I don't know. They're just the worst. They could be so rich and cool. They could guess so many things
Tari,
that would help them not be such pieces of garbage.
thoughts on the Seers?
They need to, I guess, they need to be this, like, monk-esque neutral thing so that no one's taking advantage of their abilities. I mean, I imagine, and anyone who would do so would be seen beforehand. So there's like checks and balances.
Sure.
I
get it, but they would be stronger as a ragtag group of like multi-talented people. I'm the gambler. And you're like, I'm the one who knows all of this stuff about sports.
So you think like
Something.
so Milo and Nyx, right? She's the fighter and he's the seer.
Yeah.
And then they
brain
need
man.
a gambler.
Yeah, they need a gambler, a riverboat gambler. You
And
know,
then what
with
do
a
they need?
mustache.
Then what are they
Maybe
missing?
Three could just grow one.
They're not missing anything
they're missing
else.
like
No, that's pretty much
they're missing like a heart person.
Heart, Mati.
Oh no. Heart
no.
is irrelevant.
Ooh, we'll give the android heart. Android can be heart.
Okay, let's real quick talk about the android and the
yes.
revelation we get that 2 and 5 became closer by making the android whole.
Yes.
And
yeah.
that there are internal records, recorders that documented the time on the ship before the stasis, and the files are still somewhere inside her. She just has to find them. Huge.
Huge, super important.
Yeah.
Totally super interesting. I wanted to point out that during that whole goodbye sequence, I really loved everything he did was so charming and wonderful. Such a great send off, which makes part of what he did at the very end like the worst part of all. But there's that moment where he says to Tu, he's like, I don't miss Portia Lynn, and she's like literally speechless. She's like, oh.
Well, he says she was ruthless from insecurity,
Right.
and that now she is strong from confidence and compassion.
But she just is speechless by it. It's wonderful. It's this great moment of like, yeah, man, we've seen each other grow. Like,
Well, so
game recognized game.
I think I disagree that it made the ending so much. What did you say?
Well, one moment of the ending.
Right, but I feel
There's only
like
really one person in the ending that I was upset about.
I feel like he's been playing. He's back to Rio, and he's playing a long game.
Yes,
Right.
And I will say that I trust him. So ultimately, I trust what he did.
Interesting. We note that he avoids 3, which means that he must know something about his past, or at least that's what 3
or
thinks.
3 is
Yeah.
being paranoid, and it's
Yeah.
a red herring.
Yeah, no, I think 3 is full of it, but still.
Because we know from the other universe that Rio hates 3. He just doesn't like him. So like it could be that just once he got those memories back, he was just like, oh yeah, you're a piece of poop.
But when we saw them, when they had their old memories,
Yeah.
they were like laughing together. So I think 3 is just dumb in this scenario.
And let's also point out that
Yes.
the Rio that interacts with the 3, the alternate version 3 that we saw is our Rio.
Is our 4.
Right. But
Yes.
Same.
Yeah. Tari, was there a thought?
So the impression of him hating him could just be this version.
Yeah.
There was a thought, but I just want to not to take us off course, but Little Smiles 86 brought up an interesting point. We were talking about the seers and their awful predicting
Awful, terrible
abilities.
Oh, I thought we were talking about their clothes.
Yeah,
Yes, their
it's-
predicting abilities.
And I'm assuming Little Smiles is a lady. Doesn't matter. Little Smiles says that maybe the seer knew what the real prediction that they were all going to die and was trying to fake him out with with his prediction.
Interesting.
I mean, no, because that's dumb.
No.
Let me just say that
No,
it's dumb,
no.
and here's why.
Nope.
It's dumb because why would you lie to a guy who kills people
Here's-
and think that he wouldn't straight up kill you?
Here's why. Because every time something happens, so when Nix finds out about Milo's death, and she says, "You're lying," and he says, "What purpose? What's the purpose of that?" The purpose of him lying to Rio is to try to persuade him, because he gave him all like reasonable things to do to still get what he wants.
Right.
So they were not
so-
reasonable.
What to exile
Exile
the
the mom,
the stepmom?
let them go, but as an ally,
yeah, that's
that makes perfect sense.
it does not.
but as a seer who's trying to save his life, who's his
Oh, of
own
course
life.
it does. Well, yes, for him it made sense.
Right, so he's
But,
trying
like,
to offer to Rio, here's an alternative to what I think you're doing. That's an excellent prediction, Little Smiles. Little
Yes.
Smiles?
Little Smiles.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying Little Smiles is dumb. I'm just saying
Lil
lying
Smiles?
to Rio, lying to Four is dumb because he will know.
So, he's not 4 anymore. He even says, that's not my name.
Yeah, he does. He gets all mad about it.
Stupid. Anyway, so we see this moment where Nix learns that Milo's dead.
Even though I thought she knew the whole time.
So, I wish that Rio hadn't pushed her away,
Yeah.
because then this moment of betrayal would have meant so much more. But they'd
yeah.
already broken up.
Basically.
Like, not only did you break up with me, but you killed my brother too. That's one thing. But
Right.
like, we're in love and you killed my brother. See, 2 different things.
But he
Yeah.
didn't kill him. And this is the thing. This is the thing that I really don't like about the way that they're handling this issue.
Let me give your brother something to kill himself with. I didn't kill him.
No, you're giving. Well, first of all, you're giving him. Okay, fine, but you could you not make the argument that he could reasonably like find something else within that ship to kill
yeah.
himself with? The thing he gave him was the confidence to make that choice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you don't have to suffer. If you're really suffering this much, you can end it. And I get that suicide is a very touchy issue, but in this instance, I don't like. You cannot blame Rio for doing this. Like, it was totally Milo's call. He's like, I don't want to be a puppet of these people anymore, and I am not going to be one.
But it was also 4 who basically was like, don't be a puppet. Also save our lives. You have the power to save us.
I guess so. We didn't see the speech. Like, there was no great speech given. He just
He
pretty much
didn't
gave
need
him
to.
Right, that's true. But at the same time, he didn't like force his hand in any way. He put the idea in his head. Sure, I will agree. He inceptioned him, whatever. But I don't think that all of this blame for this idea, like he killed him. Like, no, you empowered him, sure, to make his own decision, but that's all it was his decision.
Just on SVU note, you know, giving someone the weapon. There's a discussion about that.
I mean, okay, if that's the argument, though, then, like, I don't think that's true at all. Because think about the way that Americans view, like, gun violence. Like, that's definitely not the way that the world works. But I hear you. That's maybe the way the TV world works.
Dan
Tauri?
Pearman agrees with you, Andrew.
Who?
Dan Pearman.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, so
Also, Little Smiles agrees with you.
Thanks, Smiles. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean you were dumb.
so the android threatens everyone. Let's talk about that moment for a second where the android comes on and is like, hey, I'm blowing up everything. Because that was amazing. And I believe, and I want to know if you guys believe this as well, that it was all a ruse. Yeah? It was totally...
Wait, what was all the ruse?
The android was not going to kill her crew.
Well,
Well, of course not, but...
Yeah.
There was like, they were all looking at each other like, do you think they'll believe it? And then when she's like, also, remember, I'm an android and do not feel. Remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and they don't know that she does feel, so
Yeah.
it was great. I
It
thought
was-
it was
I
really
loved
cute.
it. I absolutely loved it. And then when 5 saves a hero, girl, I need that vesty robe.
Oh, I love that vesty robe. I want a vesty robe of hers too. That was so amazing. And she comes through the doors like Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. Like,
Says, "Hi, Your Majesty.
amazing.
My name is Five, and I'm here to save you."
yeah, it's so,
Just like that.
It's
That's how
super
she says
cute.
it.
Yeah, she may as
Hi,
well
Your
have
Majesty.
pigtails. It's adorable.
The cutest. All right. Hero renounces the throne and steps down to Rio.
Rio, in slow motion, ascends the throne wearing his leather jacket.
Yeah, such a badass.
Can I just say, new band name, Leather Jacket Throne. I like it.
Okay.
Okay.
No one else.
No,
First single did not do well.
it did not. And then he says, "My name is not Four. I am Ishida Rio, Emperor of Xiron."
But then he kills Hero, and that really, really upset me. That's the one death that I like really,
Sorry.
really upset me.
At first, I was like, "Ah, man, that's a bummer." Hero, he was all like unwilling
Sweet and
participant.
Yeah.
He was a victim. But it makes sense when you think back to the episode where they were in the other universe, and he was talking to 2 and 5, or I guess Portia and Boone, and they were giving him the lowdown of what happened and how their Rio ascended, and they mentioned that he made his brother like his chief advisor, and it ended poorly. It was like a grand mistake, and ultimately ended up killing him. So Rio, being the practical person he is,
Kills
basically
him first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my question.
I don't think that made me feel better.
Before we head into
Wasn't supposed to.
predictions, I want to ask, was this the betrayal? Because we have been prophesized a betrayal.
No.
Was
'Cause
this
he
it?
didn't really betray them.
I agree. Do you think this was the betrayal, or is something else coming?
I don't know. Like, what even is a betrayal, guys?
It's a delicious pastry.
All right. On that note, then, we should head into predictions. Yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
What is happening?
I'm terrified.
There aren't even lights this time.
Sounds like ghosts, though.
Okay. In the promo for next week, which I believe is the season finale,
You can believe that.
confirm or deny chat roll.
Chat?
Confirm or deny next
Chat?
week.
What do we?
Season finale? Question mark. All right. We have them talking to Truffaut, and they say the summit on Eod 7 will come under attack, leading to all-out war.
Oh no!
Then we see the Ferris guy getting angry. Then we see Five in a blonde wig.
Nice.
I definitely had
Love
to pause and rewind and go, who is that? Because I thought it was Ksenia Solo, and it wasn't. Five in a blonde wig, and she's switching something in the computer. And it reminds me of the thing they switched when the android
Oh,
went.
yeah, did her mission.
Yeah.
Then we see Three on the floor and possibly in pain. He says, "We know about your plot to bomb the station, and we're gonna stop you." Oh, that sounds like Three.
It does.
Is it the season finale?
I don't know. Chad doesn't know. No one knows.
Nobody knows, but I think so.
I would imagine so.
Guys.
13. Lucky 13.
I hope not. This show should go on forever.
Yeah, it should. You're right.
If you missed it, there's a third season, so you know.
Hey,
It
we're
will
getting
go
more
on,
Punisher
but-
season.
Predictions
Do you have any?
I do, but I'd love you to go first.
to like blow ours out of the water.
Yeah. No.
Well,
Go on.
I predict that there's going to be a lot more ambushes. I mean, it sounds like this is the like catalyst for this giant corporate war.
Yeah.
And they're basically going to either stop it and then it will cause something worse to happen, or essentially they will be the reason that the corporate war happens. So essentially, in trying to stop it, they are going to be the ones that initiate it.
Okay. Andrew.
What you got, bruh?
All right, you guys. We're clearly leading up to it, so I'm just gonna. I think we're finally there. The Raza crew is finally gonna become the Justice League that they've always been edging towards. We've got two. She's basically Wolverine. She's a superpowered,
I totally
crazy.
thought you were going to say that they finally becoming werewolves.
Finally become werewolves. I'm telling you right
So
now.
they're the Justice League.
It's all leading up to werewolves.
I'm sorry. Did you
So
say
the Justice
Wolverine
League.
Yeah.
in the Justice League?
Yeah, I know.
I
He's
got
not in
that
the
too.
Justice League. He's not in the Justice League. I'm just saying.
I'd like to
that we've been
argue-
talking about her as
correct
the
me if I'm
superhero
wrong.
Wolverine.
Is not Justice League DC.
It is.
And
They're right. They're not
Wolverine
the
is
same world.
Very clearly
That's true.
Marvel.
You're right. But we have talked for before in this show about her being similar to Wolverine and no one else. That's why. But you're right. Who would she be among the Justice League? A great question. Tweet at me about who she would be among
I
the
think
Justice
we
League.
should just tweet
Probably
shaming
Wonder
you.
Woman.
Just shame you.
I guess so. That seems really rude.
So is putting Wolverine in the Justice League.
Well, I mean, we're just likening her to Wolverine. But in any case,
Yeah. Is that your
the
skin
thing I was
analysis?
saying.
yeah,
It's my
that is a
skin
terrible
analysis.
guess
Totally
to
my
make,
skin
Shay.
analysis. Anyway, I think we're
Tari-
leading up to them
Tari,
saving the
what
world
do you think your
more
predictions
often
are? He's done talking.
and becoming the
I
good
think that
guys.
these-
The galaxy is always needed.
Bushes are gonna be.
Get out. All right, guys.
Justice League.
I have no predictions. I'm just so excited to see the show. I want to say that I'm really, really bummed about the Twix thing that 2 and Nyx never got together. That said, they still could because now
There's season 3.
Nyx needs a shoulder to cry on, and
Ugh.
you know who has some shoulders?
Everyone.
Yeah,
6.
everyone.
6.
No.
6 in Nyx. 6 with a Y.
Nyx.
Snacks.
No.
Snacks.
I still want 3 and 6 to get together. I'd like
Thrix.
that.
Or, yes,
Yeah.
Thrix.
Thrix would be
Yeah.
real nice.
Sure.
I think there were some comments about how 3 and 5 almost. Somebody thought that 3 and 5 were gonna kiss on this episode. Guys, they're like brother and sister.
She didn't look like a kid to me.
Yeah, that line we need to talk about at some point, because I get yelled at all the time because she's 21. 21,
Not in the show, Yael.
Yeah.
Just a kid.
just a child.
Just a chill day.
Okay. Any final thoughts? Any predictions? Is it the season finale?
Ivan Soto says it is the season finale.
Thanks, Ivan.
No! Guys, that means we have one more episode with you.
Oh man.
Aww.
I am heartbroken.
Mine.
So between now and
Also.
the season finale, Tari J, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TauriJ. It's TauriJay.
You can find me on Twitter at Andrew Mena and on Instagram at the Andrew Mena.
I don't do sad voices. I'm Yael Tygiel. You can find me everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And I have a podcast. It's called Intimate Interrogations. Sometimes there are new episodes. Sometimes there aren't. So check it out. It's free. It's on iTunes. Yeah, we'll be back for the season finale of Dark Matter next week. Bye. Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.